Well, things are getting colder out there. Winter time has arrived, and certainly my life has gone a similar direction recently. There's been a lot of ups and downs, and just reflecting on it, and I think this is the greatest thing to do when things aren't going your way is just double down on the, I guess, self-improvement you could say, but really double down on blaming yourself and looking in the mirror, because this is really all I can do at this point. A lot of things aren't working out, and I have to really understand why and figure out why, and I always have to, of course, look at myself first as the one most in control of my life, or at least having the most say in the matter and influence, because when I look at everything that I've set out to accomplish this year and going into next year, I mean, man, the well's been dry to say the least. And we'll start in the career sense. I don't know if I mentioned it other times in other videos, but being a sports broadcaster, I really wanted to jump into professional baseball as we get into 2026, guys. I love play-by-play broadcasting. That's what I've been doing all over the country, and specifically baseball. Like, I do want to do other sports, and I've done that, and will continue to also try to do those as well, but I feel like I've sold out for the meantime to get a job in either minor league baseball, be a broadcaster there, or any other professional league, and get to that position, because, you know, it's a big goal of mine. I feel like that's the next step. I've been doing a lot of summer wood bat baseball, and that's been awesome, and I would do it again, but it's just, I feel like the next step in the career path is to jump to the professional realm, and there's jobs that I've known have internally going to come open, and even knowing that and having that edge, and also even applying obviously to the stuff that has come open, it's been a dry well. You know, it's been very tough to land any interviews, land any hope with that. It hasn't been very good so far, so just looking at those results, it demands that I have to look at myself and understand there's clearly not something that's landing. You're clearly not the best candidate or one of the top guys, and there's a reason for that. Otherwise, of course, I would be getting an interview, and that's even considering when I apply for this stuff. Like, I look at obviously a lot of the, you know, the credentials needed to get into that position, and do feel like according to that I do have it, but there's something must be wrong, something must be off with myself if we're not landing those interviews, and it's just a disappointing thing to look back on, and I have to understand that this is my fault and it's got to turn around. And when you also look at the career aspect, that's tied in with the financial, and that's been very disappointing as well. I've gotten to the point where I'm about $3,000 from being debt free. I don't have any credit card debt. I've never really carried any big credit card debt, although I've used a credit card and still do. Probably should change that. I do have a pretty good credit score, but that is not something I want, or I don't really care about. That the $3,000 is tied up in a car that I purchased a few years ago after my own father actually wrecked my car, and I was forced to go buy a new one. So I've had that. No credit card debt, no student loans. I wiped out the student loan very early, so it was almost as I was paying tuition. But as I look into my financial goals, you know, all that aside, it's like I'm 24 years old. I should not even be in debt, and I should be saving up and really saving some good money and getting into my retirement again and saving up for that, and just feel like I've been treading water completely, just not being responsible enough, not really focusing enough on making money or finding a way to do that. And it's been very disappointing that I'm not out of debt yet and not have more money and everything, and being able to do that. Or another goal of mine on that side is finding more ways to make money online, to be able to carry myself to other portions of the country and still be able to have consistent income flowing in from a different source other than some type of in-person job. So when I look at all that, I know that I've got to really take a shot here and understand that this is not good enough. I've got to find these ways to improve in this sense, and I should be in a position to where I could grow to have actually top level wealth, but I'm just not even doing that right now. And I think the third and big area where it's another big disappointment right now that's taking a lot of reflection has been my diet and exercise and everything, and just my overall body as it's conjured, because I always want to try to be the leanest I can and also carry more muscle mass. And the good thing is I've been gaining a lot of muscle since I've really taken lifting a little more seriously again since December of 2023, and I've gained a ton of muscle in that, but I've also gained a little bit of fat, and most of that actually came on during late 2024, like late summer, after I had been my leanest for basically almost that entire of 2024, and certainly the summer. It took me a lot of struggle just to maintain basically shades of a 4-pack and kind of trying to gain muscle with that too. But guys, it's not good enough right now. I haven't eaten good enough. I have not lost back the about 10 pounds of fat I put on during that late portion of the summer 2024. Maybe I've lost a couple from where I was at my leanest, but it's like, it's just disappointing. I want to get back to that point where I was in the late summer there and of last year. And then also what I want to do is continue to get leaner, because because when you're leaner, when you're making better food choices, you're much more disciplined, and I feel like it definitely connects to these other areas, like I mentioned, financially in the career, because if I was more disciplined as a person, I am sure I would be more disciplined and better in my career and financially, and that's just it's a hard reflection point, and that's such a good way to tie it in, I feel like, with the body, because it's something you can definitely control with your intake every single day, and is almost a direct reflection of the kind of work you're putting in behind the scenes and your habits daily, because obviously when I was a very undisciplined fat idiot back in high school, that definitely, you could take one look at me and see that, and obviously you can see now that I'm more disciplined with having that weight off and being able to gain muscle, but I definitely want to get to the top level, and unfortunately I haven't been able to do that, and it's all my fault. If I want to get to the top level in broadcasting financially, or again the body, it's going to take that big level of discipline, that top level of discipline, and more suffering to get the result I want to get, because again, just looking at all these three things, probably the big three areas that I need to improve on right now to really take my life to the next level, just has not been good enough, flat out, and it's completely my fault. But I wanted to definitely get these thoughts across as just a kind of a referendum, and just an understanding that even in this age, even in this kind of doomeristic age where a lot of people, we go on and we kind of share our thoughts as frustrated younger people, I feel like, in 2025 sometimes, and just talk about the state of things and see what people are saying. And there's a lot of these kind of commentary videos on YouTube, and oftentimes obviously you kind of critique something at the societal level, but just because I'm doing that, and just because, you know, other people might be doing that, I definitely think I'll be the first to tell you I'm not taking away from the fact that most of the problems in my life are my fault, and they've got to improve, and the only way they're going to improve is my work, my discipline, what I'm going to have to do to change that myself, because right now it's just not been good enough. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. It's always good to hear your thoughts, and what are you doing to maybe look inside and make a change, because right now definitely going to take a lot to overcome these issues, and I'm really looking forward to being able to do that, and hopefully can make that change, because definitely something has to give at this point. Stay tuned for the next video, guys. We'll have more out here on PM Games. For now, peace out.